Mr. Smith, thank you for joining us on what is, I think it's a landmark day in many ways, because it is one of, if not the first, of the major corporations such as yourselves, basically saying we respect and acknowledge this security problem and Europeans wish to have their own data centers.
I agree. This is an important day, not just for us, but for the industry. Certainly for Microsoft, this is a key step in a multi-billion-dollar, multi-country expansion of our cloud services in Europe, all aimed at giving customers stronger security and more choice. So if customers want to have data in a data center where a European company is the trustee, they can choose that. And they can choose other options that we offer as well.
So let me be blunt. By doing this, whatever sort of may be the philosophical view in the grander scheme of things, but it does deny the US the ability for surveillance of that data.
Well, actually, what this does is give Europeans the confidence that if they choose this option, their rights will be protected by European law. Things will have to go before a German government or court. And the United States government can continue to work in a lawful way by interacting with other governments, in this case, the German government. But it will be done pursuant to the international rule of law.
You are starting a trend here, because before long, as we were talking earlier on the programme, other countries are going to say, right, they did it in Germany, let's do it in Japan, let's do it in Australia, India, Brazil, wherever those 24 data centres are, or many of them non-US. Surely you are now ready to have to do exactly the same structure elsewhere.
Well, this is a new step, but it actually builds on an ongoing trend. We've now constructed data centers in over 100 countries around the world. Just yesterday, we announced 2 new data centers in the UK, as well as the expansion of our data centers in Dublin and Amsterdam. The truth is, most customers probably just want their data to be nearby. There may be some customers that want to go farther, and they want a local company to be the trustee of their data, to be the only company that has access to it the way we've set it up with Deutsche Telekom. We'll have to see.
How much of all of this is basically the fallout from Snowden?
I think it's fair to say that the Snowden disclosures lit a match, and that flame does continue to burn to a degree. But I think people have always also appreciated this is a broader issue. People need to have trust in technology. It is how they manage their lives. We're fundamentally in the business of ensuring that people can count on us for the technology that they need.
Right. Now, for some of you, I mean, I'll admit, I have a subscription to Office 365, which incidentally is just renewed, so you've got some money out of me. Thank you very much. Now, will I have to make, assuming I was in Germany or the UK, would I be given the option? Will it come up nice and clearly, or will it be buried on page 146 of a 500-page boilerplate document where it says, do I want my data stored locally, or... You know what my question is here.
Well, I do know exactly what your question is, and there's 2 answers. First, this is first rolling out for enterprise customers like CNN, like any business that has 50 or more users or a government. That'll happen next year. We'll see what interest there is in broadening it beyond that. But I'll also say this, our goal is to have contracts that are 7 pages long. You should never, I hope, have to get to page 146.
Right, but hang on. At the moment, it's only the big boys and girls that can do this with data. So to some extent to that. But you do hope to be able to offer it to the little man like me.
Well, we don't think of you as a little man, but and this is for any business that has 50 employees. You don't have to be a big company. But to your question, is it yet available for any consumer? Not yet. But what we are doing already is saying if you're a consumer in Europe, your data will be stored in Europe. It's typically hosted now in Dublin. So we're already moving in that direction.
A final and much more general and wider question, sir. A recent CEO basically said to me that that when it comes to hacking and cybersecurity, this is a non-delegable responsibility from the chief executive of any company. The buck stops with the CEO when it comes to making sure the systems are secure. Would you agree with that?
I think one has to think about two things. First, security has become so important to every enterprise that by definition it is a CEO and board of directors responsibility. But second, we have to recognize that this is a shared responsibility. Cloud services are probably the single most powerful tool that any enterprise can use to strengthen its security. It doesn't have to reinvent every wheel. It can rely on the multiple billions of dollars that a company like Microsoft is making in its data center.